People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. As the man just said there, people deluded, I'm back again. William Saliba signs his new contract. Apparently, Mikel Arteta, the madman, the mad scientist that is our manager, has some new radical ways of getting that bit more out of his football team. Gunner Blogger said there's some concerns surrounding Nwaneri. Tomorrow, obviously, we're playing against Olympiacos, so make sure you've turned on your notification bells. It's watch along business as usual. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night to all my supporters wherever you are around the world. Now, tomorrow's October, so first things first, happy new month in advance. Hope the rest of the year and October is bigger and better for you lot, surrounded by good health for you and your loved ones. And I hope that's the same case with September, people. So yeah, man, let's all try and have a great end to the year. So yeah, man, smash the like button. Today we're watching Benfica against Chelsea for 90 minutes. I'm a Benfica fan. Hopefully Jose Mourinho can come back to haunt them. You know, it's been a great Tuesday. You know, you lot should see my group chats on my phone. You lot should see my mentions on Twitter. You should see my Instagram. People, like, some guy was like, oh, Arsenal, you need to take accountability for the referees and this and that. I was like, hang on. Slow it all down. One, every Arsenal fan has said there are some decisions that we benefit from against Newcastle. There's also some that Newcastle benefit from. There's many a time where Arsenal have been done dirty. We're told to shut up and get on with it. And that's what I actually believe, you know, because the refs are not going to change. And actually, against Newcastle, that's what I want to see. Yes, the refs can alter games in the course of the game and the trajectory, but control the controllables. And on top of that, man, are telling me about accountability. Do I work for PGMO? Hell, do I work for the refs? Was I not in my yard watching the game with you lot, you know, and it was in Newcastle? Me take accountability. Just say you're vexed that the hate along failed. Because when, and then there's another thing as well. Sky Sports, I'm on you lot for life, yeah, because you interviewed Waltmade. We got Waltmade, he scored. Side note, him and Gyökeres actually hardly had any touches in that game, people. I'm doing a bit of a tactical analysis that will come out for you lot either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, people. So yeah, man. When Arsenal players get mashed up on a football field, when are they interviewed about these decisions? And to be honest, if there's one team, big up Newcastle, their fans, it's a great club, everything. But your players, I don't give a flying monkeys, if I'm honest with you, because you know you lot didn't. You could have got a penalty, fair play. But I've seen you lot score goals where the ball's gone out. Time wasting to record amounts of time in which they said we need to adapt and be street smart. We then start doing that. We all know what Bruno Gomes gets away with week in, week out. And somebody that makes Bruno Gomes look like a damn angel in Joe Linton, he should have been booked in the first minute. Control the controllables. Go and take that up with the referee. There'll be times where Arsenal will be done dirty this season. You lot always tell me swings and roundabouts and all those things, man. You lot do your thing. Referees, every football fan needs to either rally together, or accept it. I'm of the acceptance stage. You know, in today's day and age, fans get criticized, players get criticized, managers get criticized, coaching staff get criticized, or maybe that's just Arsenal Football Club. You say anything about a referee, you're in issues. And you know what, Mikel Arteta, I'm a bit disappointed in you and Stan Kroenke. Stan Kroenke should have texted you immediately before you walked off that field and said, talk your shit, I will pay that fine. Because one thing I want us to do, when we win games like we did against Newcastle, again, isolated to the controllables, it was a good spectacle. But when we get our 3 points and we keep it moving, we need the same energy. You know, it's almost a full circle moment. We remember a few years ago, Mikel Arteta got in hot water for his comments. This is where we need to keep it going. But it's never going to change. I look at Premier League football in the same way you're taught to look at Sunday League or Sunday League reffing or Premier League refs versus Sunday League. You have to assume their shit. You have to assume they make mistakes. Control the controllables. Isolated to what Arsenal obviously can control. You know, we created some chances. You know, we penetrated central areas. We actually looked to threat several times. On another day, maybe, you know, I think we could have scored 3-4 in the first half. Maybe those missed chances we might come back to rue. Obviously, big up Mascara, but it's almost not that his feet is not on the ground, but, you know, he's had a great start to life at Arsenal. Gave away an unneeded corner, got hooked at halftime. Not that he's not humble and his feet's not on the ground, but that's just like them games there just fortunately we won, but that just reminds you got a long way to go. So yeah, and even Gabriel Magalhaes, the defending for that corner is absolutely shoddy. Focusing just on Magalhaes, obviously he's not alone in the goal we conceded against Newcastle or the one against City. Magalhaes, you're a sick defender. You're one of the best defenders in world football. To go with William Saliba, who signed a new contract, you're a good partnership. The two goals we've conceded recently, I think isolating Gabriel Magalhaes, you could do a lot better. And it's been dramatic in our last two games, isn't it, people? We've had to come back from behind twice, which we don't typically come back. So, yeah, it's a dodgy one. But, yeah, isolated to what we can control. We control the controllables. Mikel Arteta, that's the starting 11 I wanted to see. I wonder, and I will include this in the tactical review, I wonder, like, obviously, I'm pretty sure he watched Barcelona against Newcastle, and we're not Barcelona not us. He's got his own way of thinking. But I wonder, ironically, the same scoreline. I wonder if he took inspiration from that. I wonder if he took inspiration from the Barca game, because obviously we can cope physically with Newcastle. You've seen it. Even in that game, we could have crumbled in previous years. We didn't. But end of the day, football's played on the floor. And I think there was more of an emphasis on that. I don't know if he took inspiration from that. I don't know if he just wanted to bust Eze. I don't know if, he thought, Eddie Howe knows what we're going to do. We're going to be a stubborn defensive unit. I don't know. Maybe it was just the players. Maybe it was all Arteta. I don't know. But what I saw is from start to finish, we wanted it. We moved the ball well. We actually flipping created some chances to the point where I still don't think we create enough for Gyökeres personally. But isolated to what he played against Newcastle, I think two truths can be held in the same realm. That's the first game this season. I'm like, yeah, Gyökeres, your decision making when you're taking chances, your body positioning, you was kind of effing up because you had more touches than. Actually, I think I can find it. I'm sure he had less touches. He had less touches than Walt made. Obviously, Walt made scored. They put it on the plate for him, so we can learn to do that. But this is what I mean. Typically in the Premier League, it's a fight as a striker. So when we played Nottingham Forest and how they kind of set up, I know he scored, but how they set up. Let's focus on Manchester United, on Liverpool, on Manchester City, and Newcastle. Being a striker is a tough job. The joy comes from wide areas. The joy comes from wide areas. So there's something we need to do. If I share my screen, just because we're on that point, people, and again, the video will be out. Me, bare different sorts of content. Shall I zoom in a bit? I don't know if you lot can actually see too much and too tough. But yeah, let's bring up Waltmade and let's bring up Gyökeres. Yeah, it's actually nice to see his heat map a bit more in the box, in it. But as I was saying, people, bearing in mind, going into this game, he had 3 goals from 5 games from 7 shots. Clearly, there's some issues that we need to do, like, because for me, in terms of just overcoming adversity and getting the 3 points regardless of the ref, that we need to see that more times this season, and also penetrating central areas, creating chances, because obviously the players have done it, but Arteta in previous games this season, last season, I don't think we're creating stuff. You lot know my thoughts. I don't feel Arsenal should struggle. We should ever struggle creating chances. But isolated to the Newcastle game, for me, it would have been a thing where Arteta's done what he's done. Players, you're not putting the ball in the back of the net. Eze had a couple of chances. We should have got a penalty, of course. Gyökeres had a couple of chances. He could have done better. Trossard, very unlucky to hit the post. Great bit of play, actually, from everybody, summed up by Zubimendi, clipping it for Timber. Granted, Timber is a right back, but you get where I'm going. And I think I even said it in the watch-along. Had we of... Because there's a reality, where we don't have the heroics from Marino, and in a parallel universe, we don't have the heroics from Marino and obviously Gabriel Magalhaes. And then there's that reality where, in terms of statistics, what we saw with our eyes, we were the better team. But football's decided in both ends. There's another road where we lose that kind of 1-0. So there's always something we could do better. But staying on task, it was actually nice to see Gyökeres get 90 minutes. His general play did impress me. And actually, apart from goal scoring, you put fucking shift in Gyökeres. But as I was talking about shots, bearing in mind, prior to this game, he had 7 shots, 3 goals from 5 games. And there's some other statistics around that I'll include in the tactics video, right? But shots on target, I don't know why it doesn't say total shots, but he had 1 shot on target, 2 shots off target. So to make this easier, let's just say he had 3 shots. Obviously, and does it show touches as well? Yeah, touches, he had 32. That's actually what we're here for. Touches, he had 32, right? This is why you shouldn't listen to SofaScore ratings, because I don't really care about ratings and whatnot, but really, and I don't know how it's graded, but really, 5.8, 5.8, really? Okay. Anywho. So yeah, he had 32 touches. Waltmade had 18. This is my point. Strikers, strikers in today's day and age, you're relying on your team to create for you. I actually feel you look at the front three in the modern day here. obviously, you know, if you want to be a striker, you want to be a striker, you want to score goals and whatnot. But generally, rather than talking in isolated cases, if you're the front three, so you say you're Gyökeres or you're Isaac, you know, you're Isaac, you're Salah or Saka, you're whoever you want on the left hand side. I think you're better. I think you'd prefer to be a winger, because that's when, yeah, you get marked out of games, but you actually get to run in behind. Chances are created for you. The game's always been played in the midfield, but it's even more compact and systemic. It's dead. The only difference with Waltmade and Gyökeres, Waltmade, you know, with the one chance that Newcastle created for him, he took. And actually, big up Mikel Arteta for his proactiveness. Odegaard's roll off the bench was superb. Odegaard's roll off the bench was superb. Actually, go and watch the game again, you know, the full 90. We changed what we're doing around set piece routines. I like the fact that for a point when we was chasing the game, so when we was a goal down, he took off the left back, innit? He took off the left back and he just done a thing where Rice, you just, you know, just be aware of what's going on. Magalhaes is half playing as a centre back, but watching the left hand side. You know, we've got a front 3 to 4, Trossard, all of them are there. Obviously, from when we've equalized from, you know, there's a great bit of play that led to the corner. I think Rice earned the corner for Marino's goal. Great bit of play which led to that, yeah. Great bit of play which led to that. But if you remember, as soon as we scored that, Newcastle went down the other end, and then there's that penalty shout, which it's not a penalty. Granted, I'm shameless, you lot know this. If that was Newcastle, if Arsenal stood to benefit, I ain't perfect. I'm calling for that. But what's a man meant to do with his arm? But yeah, my main point of that, go and look at what Arteta did. From we've tried to gamble, got back in the game, it's paid off. He's then brought on Miles Lewis-Skelly. So I'm always critical. As you know, I'm a fair person. When it's time to be critical on Arteta's starting selection, on his game management, on his lack of subs, I'm very vocal. I think he's been proactive. I might put a little asterisk because we were a goal down at some point in the last 2 weeks. But then there's also been times where I've seen us go down in the Premier League more last season, and we're still just doing the same things, really. So yeah, man, credit where due as always. That's just how I like to govern things, people. So yeah, we deserve the 3 points, but the main point for me is this needs to become the minimum, people. This needs to become the minimum. Granted, I know refereeing decisions and things can go against you. Newcastle the same. We see it every week. Even the Man United game with Brentford, where, you know, Nathan Collins made no attempt to play the ball. He's not been sent off, right? But if we look at Liverpool, right? If Liverpool did that, it's not really a shock. Everybody expects that. Or like Real Madrid, we need to be able to do this because this is the only way we're going to bust this. How much FREs have we seen numerous times in the Premier League? How many penalties haven't been given? Gabriel Jesus, Aston Villa, last season or season before comes to mind. It's neither here nor there, in it. No one can convince me Arsenal Football Club are not ref differently. There's not one rule for one and then others and then another one for another. But that's not a victim thing. I do think the broader case is the refs are shit. They're going to make mistakes. We benefited this week. We might get done dirty next week. Just control what you can control. Can you defend? Clearly, we defended better than Newcastle, even though we conceded. Can you score? And on the topic of goals and moments change games, had Gyökeres have got the penalty and it went in, who knows? But for me, the first 14, 15 minutes, to go to the next level, I think we should have bagged. You know, Eze, lovely ball over the top, similar to what he did for Martinelli that kicked it off. I think we had chances. Big up Nick Pope, end of the day. I'm sure Tuchel was watching that, and I'm sure if he wants to call him up, he's showing what he's on. So, yeah, man, simple as that. Let's just go to Olympiacos. West Ham, we should be winning, innit? Let's be real. I know Arsenal fans, when you hear West Ham and then next week Fulham away, these are the games on paper. You should be winning. These are the potential banana skins. It's down to us. Because if I'm honest, Liverpool are owed that defeat. And you know, in life, things come in twos, innit? You might be waiting for a bus, and then none are coming for 10 minutes, and then two come. You might have no women or men if that's what you like, and now you got two. You know, a striker might not score for 10 games. He gets a brace or something of that ilk. Using that same rhetoric, yeah, and I hope this is the case. Could Liverpool be set for another defeat or as a minimum dropping points? Granted, I don't know who Liverpool are playing. I'm sure they're going to bounce back. I'm sure they're going to win. But this is my point. We're at that point now where when it's all said and done, we just need to do our job and pounce. And I might be exaggerating, but I'm sure Arsenal fans, dons that are not drawing for the data immediately, I'm sure Arsenal fans, there ain't been too many times where even last season, Liverpool dropped points. We then went and won, clawed some of the points back. And obviously, you can't go back in time, but Mikel Arteta does what I do wonder. Respectfully to Newcastle, it's not the same kind of game for me like when we walked into Liverpool, much less Liverpool at Anfield or Manchester City at our place or Manchester City away. And I don't want to go as far as to say we made a statement and we did all of that kind of stuff, people, but I did feel and no, none of the three games are the same, but You know, Eddie House had our number. Newcastle at St James's Park is horrible work for us. City, we've done well against them. We capitalized on some mistakes last season. I think personally we were there for the taking. I think had we have done what we needed to do in the first half, who knows? Anfield, big up Liverpool. It's a great team, and it was a stalemate. Great free kick made the difference. But my overlining factor for those 2 games with City and Liverpool, whether it's because the season has just started, whether it's because Arsenal fans were bullish about, we're looking at you, Arteta, the squad's there, the defense is there, the attack is there. We're bullish. We need to kind of accept that we're in this realm now. We don't necessarily have to overly play the defensive hand. Liverpool and City and all these teams, the fears we have against they might have them. I think we could have taken a chance. I do think, quote unquote, and I know it's cliche, but there's never been a better time for Arsenal anyways to win at Anfield, which we failed to do. Quote unquote, not really City, but you get the point. So my point of saying that is to say this: when we stepped into the Newcastle game now, I'm on that. You lot saw my content midweek. I understood, and I thought he would start Marino against Newcastle. Probably written in the stars he bagged, but I thought he would start him, and I don't agree with it. But I more understand you doing that there than against City. But I was at the point where, F it, attack is the best form of defense. Eze, slap him on the pitch, let's work some magic. And we did that. And I felt when you look at Newcastle's, obviously, when you think of Arsenal, Newcastle, the dodgy refereeing decisions, the WWE, the fact, quite simply, Eddie Howe has had our number and Newcastle have put spanners in our works. I felt this is carrying on the same logic. There's never been a better time to play Newcastle or beat Newcastle. So I'm happy we went for it. Of course, there's going to be times where, simply put, the gaffer makes mistakes, the players make mistakes, we fuck up. But we just have to be, as dumb as it sounds, we just have to be right more times than we're wrong. I wish, and I'm sure every football fan, whether you support Arsenal or something else, you wish your team wins every game, scores a million goals, defense is never called into action. That's not how life works. But the main point for me is, first time in a while, you've refused to accept what reality is thrown to you. You refuse to accept the refs. You refuse to accept, quite frankly, mistakes have happened. We're a long way removed from this. But if you go back to the early days at the Emirates era, quote unquote, how many times have you seen games played how the Newcastle game was played, and we might lose 1-0, and then Mascara, it's all your fault? Man, make mistakes. People make mistakes. We get on with it. Magalhaes didn't feel sorry for himself, stepped up, put the ball in the back of the net. Odegaard, people have been on him. You saw what he did. So yeah, man, good day out. Don't know how we got here, people. Actually might clip up part of this and put it in the video. Why not? But don't know how we got there, but there we have it, in it. That's just some random DG thoughts, I guess, man. Jamie, appreciate you, brother. Smash the like button. Aris, well, go on, Killy. He's saying, S, good morning, right back at you, man. Good morning, right back at you. Rory said Chelsea away. I'll be real. I'm not sure in the context. Oh, you're talking about Liverpool, Chelsea away. You're talking about Liverpool, Chelsea away. If it comes to it, and if in life, if there was no such thing as a draw, I'd rather Liverpool win. End of the day, I don't want Chelsea or Spurs to do anything. A draw would be ideal. I don't want to say Chelsea win, but in the grand scheme of things, as much as I don't want Chelsea to celebrate because I'm enjoying getting onto my Chelsea supporting friends, removing how I feel about Arsenal and whatnot, then maybe it would be a benefit to us. But even Liverpool. End of the day, it's Liverpool, and they should be as bullish as they want, yeah. But looking at their fixtures, they got some tasty fixtures, if I'm honest, in all comps. Furthermore, Galatasaray away, I back them to win, but that's not easy. The atmosphere in Turkey is going to be mad. It's one of the games of the season. They're going to be on them. I back them to beat Chelsea. If I'm brutally honest, I think they wipe the floor with Chelsea. I think I'll go off early doors and say 3-1, but you never know. Man United, it ain't Alex Ferguson's Man United. The hell up out here, man. That's his boy. The less said about Man United, Liverpool, the better in it. Liverpool are grabbing their 3 points. You just have to hope fatigue and mental fatigue plays a part in it. Brentford away is probably more of a test. But yeah, Galatasaray, Chelsea, United, Frankfurt, Brentford, Palace in the cup, Aston Villa. Hope Aston Villa's form's dramatically turned around since then Real Madrid, then City. So both teams have a decent little run of fixtures, man. Like our fixtures are not simple by any stretch of the imagination. Even the ones you look at and you're like, yeah, man, we should be winning that regardless. Anyways, people. Olympiacos, I'll be real. I want to see Lewis Skelly start. Calafiori playing on the weekend, but we need to be winning that. West Ham, I don't care if there's a managerial bounce, if they're feeling down on the dumps. Bowen is a serious player. Go and score. And big up Kenny Ken. Go and check out the video I did with him and DJB yesterday. He said, West Ham can't defend from corners and set pieces. What happened? Now, you'd imagine Nuno Espirito Santo's going to fix that up. But if worse comes to worse, we're the corner boys, are we not? Make sure you come home with them 3 points. Make sure. Fulham away. Just get my 3 points, man. Just get my 3 points, man. But Olympiacos, West Ham, Fulham away, Atletico Madrid, Crystal Palace at home. Their form has been amazing. Their manager's quality. They got great players. I'm sure they miss Eze, but they don't. Eddie Nketiah last year tried to score a bicycle kick against us after his goal against Liverpool. I'm sure he's going to be chomping at the bit. Then we got Brighton in the cup, Burnley away. We should be winning that, but that feels like one of them Premier League games, 3 o'clock. It might not be plain sailing. So Sunderland, you should be winning that, but Xhaka's there. Stadium of Light, 5:30 under the lights. They're in a decent bit of form as well. If I'm honest with you, North London derby, anytime you don't beat Spurs, it's unacceptable. And then, boy, North London derby, Munich, Chelsea away, Brentford at home, Villa away, Club Brugge, Wolves at home, Everton away, again, Goodison Park. Sometimes we move a bit mad over there. Boy, it's a serious amount of games, man. But it makes it exciting, doesn't it, man? Odegaard has had injuries, but some of his performance, I'm sorry, he's underperformed. Definitely has underperformed at times, man. He needs to stay fit, though. And I must admit, even that, going back to what we said, yeah, like, obviously, Zubimendi's come off. Odegaard's actually operating deeper. That surely is the thing. Like, Arteta, maybe we need to try Odegaard deeper, maybe pulling out to that left-hand side on his favoured left. And Eze can play all about the place, but we saw what he could do on his right foot. Probably a couple of occasions against Newcastle, like, the way he... Eze just a baller, man. The way he's able to start defense and attack, the way he's great in tight spaces, developing partnership with Gyökeres actually, seems to love playing with Bukayo Saka, provokes nerves in the opposition and havoc for us. The only thing, I think he's getting up to speed tactically as well, and I'm more kind of clocked that against Port Vale and the little things he's saying. The only thing I would extend to Eze, I can't lie, man, you might need to polish up a little bit on your finishing, because I know Nick Pope was great. The first shot I allow you, your second chance, there's one you absolutely rifled it on your right peg, and Pope did well. You're good enough to score them things there, Like, you are a star, and you need to. I'm not saying you don't believe it, but puff out your chest, bro. Puff out your chest. We got a Bobby Dazzler in him, the #1 Arsenal content creator. The Gooner, you're far too kind, man. I don't know if I could claim that, but I appreciate that. No ranting, no raving, just intelligent, considered opinion. Hit the like, but only once per stream. Come on, amen, amen. Smash the likes. Magalhaes wasn't a penalty. The rules are clear. Ball off the body onto the hand isn't handball. Also, the ball changed direction. No time to move hand out the way. I believe that. But I don't want to sound like a sour Arsenal fan. And if we're talking about penalties, I might even be reaching, but I'm sure Bruno Guimaraes. But it's neither here nor there. We got the 3 points. And it's like people want some non-Arsenal fans. They want Arsenal fans to be vexed. Like, they want us to be vexed. How can I be vexed? You're talking about refs and all, you lot have benefited. Just say you're upset. You tried to do the hate watch thing. It didn't bang. You're vexed. We are going to lose at some point again this season. We'll have our day in the sun, positively and negative. You'll be there chatting shit. And, some of you will be in the comments, what was it? They say, no good morning, 3-point collectors and all that. It's football, man. Just calm down. There was one chance where he should have shot and he decided to chop. It's some of these things that he needs to sharpen up, which I think he'll do if we play him more and more. Gyökeres, yeah. Like, against Newcastle, for me, it was more, I don't want to say decision-making, but your decision-making. And maybe you're still adapting to the Premier League. You haven't got time. But like you're saying, there's times where just get on your left foot, bang. Like, you're taking extra touches. You're forcing it out wide. You're doing all of those kind of things. And, I think I've been very consistent in that when we're watching Gyökeres on the YouTube and the compilations and we're excited about getting him and stuff and, all of the things he does and the variety of goals, all those things we're happy about. But for me, I said to you, like, one thing that I liked the most about Gyökeres was actually the unglamorous goals, the goals that are not going to win you Puskas awards because they're so ugly, they're beautiful. For me, that's what we was missing in it. Them little reactionary, instinctive, be the better way of saying it, finishes. I think you could have done that against Newcastle. I think he didn't, man. These ratings don't tell the full story of his general play. Yeah, but this is what football's become. People don't get the ball with their eyes. They don't watch the game with their eyes. They don't know how to take stats and marry that with the eyes. Or when they are using their eyes, they've got their agenda glasses on. We live in a day and age where someone will spend 90 minutes watching a football match, then watch it again and just might watch, I don't know, let's just say Bukayo Saka. Every action across that 90 minutes, there's a fail comp. Like, it's boring, man. It's boring. It's lazy. In case you're blind, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss streams or uploads. Come on. Same old Magpies, always rugby. And I'm sorry, big up Newcastle, but I'm sorry. If I don't feel sorry for no one that's not connected to Arsenal Football Club, because no one cared about us with the referees. No one for years. Keyword years. Let alone the Emirates. PTSD is starting to get player mind. I will never forgive the referees, and I will beef them for life after how our unbeaten record ended. So I ain't got sympathy for no one, nobody. Not even my own football club on occasions, because you lot know I'll sit here and talk about the refs, but I'll be like, okay, cool, that's a 2-minute flashpoint. What else did we do for 90 minutes? Which, against Newcastle, we did it. If I'm going to feel sorry for a team, though, it's definitely, and again, Newcastle fans, I feel sorry for. You're football fans. You're not the ones playing. Eddie Howe, you ain't done nothing. I don't really like your assistant, Jason Tyndall. But them players, Newcastle players, of anybody, any team, Newcastle, hold that, man. Hold that. Please just hold that. It's okay, man. It's okay. Refs are the worst in Europe. Why is it only our refs, not any other country, or when we play in Europe or Euros World Cup? Exactly. And to be fair, even me, the referee had a shocker. I think he was stopping the game from flowing on occasions. I do think he was getting dodgy decisions, minor decisions wrong against Arsenal and Newcastle, or for and against both teams, let alone the major decisions. But again, I like to think I'm a fair man. They've mind games him. Because the one, I can't blame you for the penalty. Like the ref, I can't blame you for the penalty. Everything else, I guess so. You definitely should have booked Joel into first minute. I can't blame you for the penalty. You've given it. They've evidently got in your ear and said whatever, created a sense of doubt, maybe told you look at something. Fair enough, he's gonna look, and he does have the occasion or the opportunity to say, nah, still a pen or whatever. But they've got in your head. And for me, whether it's a pen or not, neither here nor there. As I said yesterday, I just got two questions. Just two questions. Is it clear and obvious that that's not a penalty? Because if it was, he wouldn't have given it. And surely Gyökeres gets booked. And it's almost whether Gyökeres oversells it, which he kind of does. He goes swimming. You'll be glad. It doesn't make sense, really. Is another thing. Is there contact or not? Is it clear and obvious? No, it's not clear and obvious. So why is VAR involved? And I know you don't look at it like this. And I know they don't look at it like this, yeah. But sometimes I think common sense has to prevail. We can zoom in on Pope's knee and Gyökeres' knee and start talking about geometry and physics and quantum physics and the foot is planted and all this kind of stuff. I would simply say, and I know it's not as basic as this. Pope's reaction says it all. That is guilty. He knows he's going jail. He's guilty. If Pope's there shouting at the ref, what do you mean it's not a pen? And granted, but you can see him. His players are not even involved. When the players go over there half-heartedly saying, come on, ref, it's half-hearted. Like, Pope's reaction tells it all. He knows he got away with one. Pope had a very good game. I think we're over-egging the Nwaneri thing. In my opinion, we should let him cook with no pressure for a bit and grow into a man first. Everyone will get their time, bro. But listen, some Arsenal fans need to act like you've been here. It's not that you shouldn't be worried if certain players are not involved. But you have to become accustomed to this. You have to. If everybody's fit in that squad, or terrible with numbers, let's just say 85-90% of the squad's fit, brother, someone's got to miss out. We all know the players that are not going to miss out, but someone's got to miss. If Hincapie's fit, Havertz is fit, Jesus is fit, bro, everybody that's injured, there's so many players I can't keep hold of things. If everybody's fit, someone's got to miss out. And I've said it in the summer. Me personally, I think Arteta is going to go with the young players because it's easier to, rightly or wrongly, it's easier to leave them guys out. It's easier to leave Nwaneri out, Max Dowman out, especially when you got Hincapie and all these guys, Mr. Miles Lewis-Skelly. I'm not saying this right, but that's going to happen. Someone's going to get left out, and you have to become accustomed to that. If Noni as well, I knew I forgot someone. Noni being fit, obviously, Nwaneri's seen as a central player now. So then, rightly or wrongly, in Arteta's mind, Odegaard's back. I might bring him off the bench. I might not, but that's my tool. I'm going with Eze in that role. I'm not saying I agree with this, but Marino is clearly seen as some level of a midfielder. So you've got three. Then if you put Max Dowman and Nwaneri against each other, obviously there's no Noni Madueke. If Noni's there, I don't think Max, and it's not about ability. If Noni's fit, I don't think Dowman's on the bench. I genuinely, you never know. Madueke might still start, but I think Madueke's on the bench. You don't go with Dowman. But then if we just put Nwaneri and Dowman against each other, Dowman's the better winger. He takes his man on more. Nwaneri's there's a bit more variety in what Dowman does. Nwaneri's a bit more cute and clever. He wants to, take a couple touches and all those things. Don't get twisted. I said I wanted Nwaneri on the bench. I still maintain I want the best of both worlds. You do your thing, get your minutes in. in the 10, I think Mikel Arteta at some point, regardless of, and it's a bit of a hypocritical thing because the 3 points is all that matters, but regardless of what we're trying to do this season, 5 to 10 games is an exaggeration. But I think Nwaneri, he might be at that point now where, or to a degree, where the gaffer just got to say, listen, you're going to start 5-10 games. If you play within that 5 to 10 games, show me a level of consistency. If you play back great in your first game, don't get excited. If you play terrible in your first game, don't get excited. But at that next, this is your chance type of thing, innit? So yeah, we just need to calm down, man. Someone's always gonna miss out, bro. And at the end of the day, we can't have it all. Like, and I do feel sorry for football managers because everybody wants all the young players to get minutes, wants all the players to be rotated, also wants to win and have consistency, which can, to a degree, can only be breeded by starting the same players and playing your best team. Want to sit here and say every game is a cup final and all of these kind of, so to a degree, gaffers can't win. But it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. And big up Burr. We'll get into all the Saliba stuff, but it is nice to see Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly signed with new deals because you could imagine the paper tabloids. You never know. Maybe Nwaneri could go out on loan. And even that, if Kai's fit, does Marino make the bench? Does Norgard make the bench? This is what comes with having depth, guys and girls, man. Again, smash the like button. There's over 100 of you tuned in, but we ain't got 100 likes. You lot hate me. Why? 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 What'd I do to you lot? What makes you, man, think Nwaneri is boxing himself in a specific position? I never said that. And I don't think you can. I don't think you can because the manager demands multifunctionalism. The modern game probably demands that. And you're not at the stage where you can do that. You're not at the stage where you can do that. Like, if you're Nwaneri, I guarantee if you ask Nwaneri, cool, I think I'm an 8. I think I'm a 10. The gaffers even said you play up front. Do you give a flying fuck where you play? Pardon my French. Do you care where you play? Because you're on the peripheral things. You just want to get on the pitch. Like when Saka had to, put his shift in at left back. I know it's the opposite scale. You think Eze would definitely want to play in midfield, but do you want to play left wing or not play at all? Get your clout on the pitch. Miles Lewis-Skelly, he might genuinely still see himself as a midfielder. If he didn't have the capacity to play as a left back and didn't want to do that, you're not playing against PSG. You're not playing against Real Madrid. You're not accomplishing all you accomplish. You're not having that breakthrough season, and there's no superlatives to praise what Miles Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri and Dalman in what he's done so far is doing. So long may it continue, man. Yeah, Arish, you're not a fan of Dalman slightly. He is. He wants to play as a 10, according to reports. If he just wanted to be in the lineup, he would have gotten chances at right wing as well. He's been given right wing chances, and I'm a Wenger baby, so I maintain you can get minutes out there, but it is what it is. You guys going to cry every time someone don't make the bench. Clearly something was wrong if Max made the bench. That's what you have. Ethan a baller, but he ain't better than Odegaard or Eze. He needs game time, so loan him out. I wouldn't loan him out yet. If anything, I might entertain it around January. My bias is I wouldn't, but I might look at him and say, you know what? Maybe it's worth going somewhere quickly. You play some games, you're back next season. Probably considering that for next season, if I'm honest with you. But there's games to play, bro. There's games. You did play against Port Vale. And I know, like, when you've been given a taste for it, like when you've been like for Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly, you've been given a taste, you've been exposed. Like for Nwaneri, I think the best thing about Nwaneri is I think he's become the most underrated player at Arsenal because everyone's focusing on Max and this thing and that thing. I don't even think he had his breakthrough season last season. I know that sounds silly because he scored his first goal for the club, scored against City, played 30 odd times, but I don't think I would describe Miles Lewis-Skelly as a breakout. I still think there's something more to give with Nwaneri, but look at the minutes you're playing. Look at what you've done, to the point where you're on the cusp. Like I think Tuchel spoke about, there was one international break. Tuchel said he was that close. So I understand, you've been wanting that, but you are further in your quest than you was now. There's game time, man. And it's not just this year, it's years. Like I can't sit here and tell you what the dynamics of the team look like, purely playing devil's advocate. There might come a time where Nwaneri's emergence, we might have to bet on him. We might have to bet on him. He might look better than Odegaard, or he might be on the cusp of really breaking out, and you might have to sacrifice Odegaard, or you've got Eze and Nwaneri playing out of this world. Odegaard something might have to happen there. Kai Havertz is on big money. Maybe his role being devil's advocate becomes obsolete. And it's all different profiles of midfielders. Norgard, you might not be here forever. Mikel Marino, you're doing your thing. You might not be here forever, or you might get left out of the team a lot more when these guys do what they need to do, so Arteta can find different game plans. So yeah, man, we need to call. Remember, Donny's 18, like 18 years of age. 18. And Mikel Arteta, I see parallels, I must admit, with like Well, you did cross paths with Phil Foden, with Phil Foden at City, because there was times the English media waffling pitchforks out for Pep. Why are you not playing Foden? It feels like years ago. It was years ago. But why are you not playing him? Fair to say Pep knows what he's doing, innit? Do it like in NBA. Every team gets 2 appeals per game, but only granted the second appeal successful with the first appeal during the game. A bit of woke nonsense. DG Arteta is anti-youth, you know. Is he? That's false. And pardon me, Kwame, I must admit, yeah, I do think it's funny because there was a few years ago, people say, oh, Arteta hates Saliba. I don't think Arteta is clearly not anti-youth. Now, look how many people's given debuts. Now, Arteta is not on the Wenger thing. He's not on just playing young players for any reason. I do think he's of that. If you're not like them Saka kind of kids, Max Dowman kind of kids, Miles Lewis Skelly, Nwaneri, he's not really on it with you. I hear that, but you can't say he's not. Max Dowman came on at Anfield, bro. On the bench at 15 at Anfield. Miles Lewis Skelly's playing in semi-finals in the Champions League. Nwaneri 30-odd times. All while we're trying to win titles and all of these things. By all means, Arteta has a lot of questions. You can't say he's anti-youth. And if he was, he'd need to leave this football club. Youth football is a fragment of this football club. Youth always needs to come through. And in fact, there's so much more we need to do better, because it's one thing having Max Dowman, Miles Lewis Skelly, all these guys. The guys that are good but don't make it here, we need to be making more money. We know what we're making inroads. We know what we need to do. Timber's got to be up next for a contract. I tweeted that, you know. I tweeted that. He's got to be. Maybe not the priority, obviously, trying to get Saka, but naturally, within the next 6 to 12 months, there's a renewal there. But to see Nwaneri, Miles Lewis Skelly, Saliba, Magalhaes, I thought Saka would be before Saliba, but yeah, I'm just on YouTube with you lot. Most of these refs don't even kick a ball. VAR is not the problem, bro. It's how it's being implemented. That's software. If I lose at Football Manager, can I blame the game or myself? Nah, you can blame the game. Terrible example. Someone's got to go this season pros to pick from. You know what? Yeah, I don't want to jump the gun, yeah, but I was randomly watching Hincapie highlights, and I'm sure there's one that's been surfacing online. Gyökeres, you're gonna get goals if you get in the box. You know, there's bare scumbag tappings for you with Hincapie. There's so many. Big up, Royal Billionaire. Big up, DG. Nothing excites me more than seeing ex-Gunners sink Liverpool and Chelsea, only for Arsenal to bury Newcastle. It was a great weekend. A great weekend, man. Because I know rivals. Because Arsenal fans, I was doing it as well. We were, chatting shit on Saturday. But in the end of the day, you got to go and do your job. I know when they saw that goal come in with the first goal, forget the heroics. I know when they saw Newcastle scored, they thought, yeah, it's going to be the same old Arsenal crumbling. Gary Neville's going to be in his bag. Even hearing the life and the life sucked out of Gary Neville when Gabriel Magalhaes scored. Arsenal, you made my weekend, man. Guilty, bro. I love Gary Lineker's suggestion that VAR should be an appeal system. Clubs get limited numbers of appeals per game. Yeah, but then it opens some crazy precedent, because if I'm a manager, bro, you're gonna find a way to try and leverage that. I think it gets a bit too. The game's already a bit stop-start. I think it gets a bit too rugby-esque and all these things. P's gifted 5 Deluded Gooner memberships. You're far too kind. Big up, P. Shout Iceland. Hope you're well and safe, man. Coaching and scouting data creeping into the unprofessional space that is social media is hilarious. Over intellectualizing a sport that's basic as hell. But this is what they do, They use the people that do that, they get followings because they use smart jargon. It's like every other walk of life. Obviously, if I go to the doctors or I go to fix a car or I go into anything to do anything where I'm not educated per se, and you start using them fancy words, naturally people are gonna know what the fuck you're talking about. But then when you actually Google what you're talking about, it's not making sense. It's basic. And I genuinely believe, because the most intelligent people are going to speak in the most basic ways. I know these tacticals, they speak in the crazy jargon and things like that. And I always think to myself, you can think like that. Do you really think every manager is talking to their players like that? The managers might even speak and reference things like that. But think about it. Coaching football, it's to coach is to teach is to coach. Just because you think about it like that, and it's a bit disingenuous, but I always give this example because I think it's the best. Let's assume Pep Guardiola speaks like that. And when he's got Jack Grealish don't care or know about that. It's going to go in and out of one ear. You need to dumb it down. So if you can't explain what the fuck you're talking about simply, you're chatting shit. Pardon my French. DG, who do you think Berta will sign in January? I hope it's Semenyo. Day 30 of asking Arsenal to sign Semenyo. He's ready, man. He's ready, but that's dream chasing. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a random young player project sign. It'd be nice to get a left winger because I feel if we did miss a trick in the summer beyond selling, then that's probably where, man. If I'm honest, man. Yeah, KG, you will bounce back, but at least we need to go on a run. The problem is our enemy is ourselves. I trust Liverpool to get something. I don't trust my team on this run. That place is a cauldron. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, this game of football that we like, man. It's absolutely crazy. I said 2-0 Arsenal. Lucky goal from Voldemort shagged me. Why is everybody calling Wolfmade that? I actually like him, you know. I actually think he's going to be a good player, man. Good player. And I'll credit you as well. You're a real G. I'll give you that. You're a real G because you're a better man than me. Absolute better man than me. Because if I'm you and Magalhaes does that, fall on the floor, red card immediately. Immediately. So, yeah, man. DG facts, I'm a mentor myself. And if you can't explain it to a 7-year-old, then you don't understand. Exactly. You might impress your little chums. You might impress the net. You might get gigs. But you don't know what you're talking about. You really don't know what you're talking about. That's the problem with this. Damn P.I.'s already gone to handle life after gifting. Big him up, man. The same man believe they know more than ex-professionals or coaches. Hilarious. If the refs handling the VAR actually made the right calls, there would be no need for appeals and challenges, stuff like that. And you know what, yeah? I would just like referees or the PGMOL or whoever, sometimes just come out and say you fucked up, bro. It's not going to help anything. You can't go back in time, but just because you lot make mistakes and you double down on your nonsense. Like you fully double down. And at best, they come out with some apology or the goal should have stood. It don't help no one. It don't help fans because of whatever your team wants to address. It doesn't help managers because there's some managers that go on a losing run. They probably get sacked and they probably deserve to get sacked. But we all know, like, you might not just get sacked off one game. What if VAR shagged you in a game that led to you getting sacked, where that might have bought you some shelf life? There's too much. There's too much at stake. You're playing with people's lives because we love football. You're playing with the professionals' lives. Mistakes happen, but at the very least, if you're a manager or players of any team, at least if you win, lose, or draw, let it be because of what you did or didn't do. Don't let it continuously be this. But I always get called a conspiracy theorist and all of this. That my thing is they don't want to change it, bro. Maybe they don't want to bring in foreign refs because it's jobs for the boys. I don't know. But you look at the money in the whole of football, much less England. Apparently, we got the best league, right? We pay some of the best wages, right? We're always up there for spending collectively in the transfers, right? Best physios, doctors, all these things. Mad TV rights money. We got to remember these men are businessmen, you know. Why would you have all of that to have shoddy refs? So that can't be a coincidence. That can't be a mistake. That's a choice. The difference between this season and last season is Eze, every single game this season has shown that VAR is being used to re-ref the game, not help refs when he's missed a clear and obvious error. Everyone in the world saw a penalty kick Pope on Gyökeres. VAR wanted it to be part of the game. No one wants that. Ethan has not shown anything in the games he's played this season that he should be starting ahead of Odegaard. I don't know about starting ahead of Odegaard, but I don't think that's fair to Nwaneri because I think mainly the games at the Emirates when he has come on for Odegaard, I think he's done quite well, if I'm honest. Did you hear for the Gyökeres penalty, the commentators were saying VAR was guiding the ref to change his decision? Isn't the point of the screen for the ref to decide on his own change? Yeah, but they've pressured him. They've pressured Donny, innit? They've pressured him. They've absolutely pressured him. And then maybe there's egg on their faces like, oh, man, it weren't clear and obvious. We've got involved already. Don't make us look dumb. You got to remember, they're putting doubt in a man's head, you know. The ops were waiting. Big up Riley, man. Don't play youth just for the sake of youth. Only play youth when they're good enough for the first team. I hear that. Hinkapie played 5 minutes at Port Vale, right? No, he didn't. Our fan base want... No, he didn't. Our fan base want our own version of Yamal instead of wanting to win trophies. Hey, that's a bit disingenuous. Maybe we want both, and Yamal's don't come around. For once, I can say well done, Arteta. Not only a fantastic win, but that first 30 minutes is just what all Arsenal fans want to see. That's it. That's what we want to see. Because I wouldn't even say the handbrake went down. Because we were still good defensively. Arteta, and this is what I mean by Arteta needs to go to war with the man in himself. He found the balance. I need some clarity on the Hinkapie stuff as well, man. I do want to see him. Odegaard literally came on and balled out. This competition is just going to make him raise his level. Amen. And then you look at it like, bring me a left winger. Woof. DG, this will only encourage competition. No more complacency. Everyone's got to be on their toes. That's what great clubs do. Even Rodrigo is not guaranteed a spot at Madrid. Some will miss out. True. Bro, watching the training footage and just deep in the squad we got now could shed a tear. Could shed a tear, man. I'm waiting to see if Zubi can run the midfield by himself. The game will come when we'll need him to do that. Let's see. We are literally trying to win it all. Players on the bench will rotate, champs and prem. And unpopular opinion, for me, I don't even think it's time for rotation yet. Of course, you got to be a bit cute and clever. Arteta might want to make some changes. He might have one eye on the weekend, like if we're playing tomorrow. But I've never subscribed to this everyone gets a game thing. Granted, the League Cup against Port Vale, with the greatest of respect, you can run that. I kind of want, within reason, and you lot clearly love football as much as me at that deep level, so you understand what I'm saying, and it's clearly a safe space. I don't want rotation for rotation's sake. Like I genuinely don't want that, because we need to win games. Simple as that. There's going to be time. We're in that. We're also approaching that, really and truly, from now to the end of the year. In fact, granted, from now to the end of January, really, give or take, with 2 international breaks. Oh, we're linked with you this, but I don't believe it. He looks like he's smitten at Juventus. It's going to cost an arm and a leg. We wanted him when he was at Bayern. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think we're interested. And what I mean by that is I think every big club is interested in all good players. We probably have scouted him. Scouting and watching someone don't mean you're trying to move for Donny now. Put my Semenyo. I can't lie, though. I am liking the angle of buying the Prem players, man. Semenyo, I'm never going to say, I think Semenyo's the next one, man. I think he's the next one, man. We don't play with 10s. We have a midfield full of 8s that are capable of performing various roles at the same time. Rotation is required to keep everyone in the game mentally and physically outside of match. Everyone should be able to start for Arsenal, but you can't do it after a month on the bench. Yeah, I'm on that. I'm just saying I just don't want rotation for rotation's sake. If we want rotations for rotation's sake, you lot go sign for Sunday league sides. I think people are doing too much. Can Nwaneri simply not be getting saved for the Olympiacos game? Could he just not be an option in consideration for the Newcastle game, and could be that? Obviously, if it looked like a game, and I think I did say in my watch along, to be fair, I would have taken off Saka and brought on Nwaneri. But if you win, who cares? If you lose now, or because you're leaving him out or putting certain man on the bench, and whoever you started and whatever you did tactically, we won. It's justified. Like, even if we lost, I know it's going to be Arsenal bottled it again, Newcastle this. What does it mean for Liverpool? They couldn't take advantage. The whole VAR stuff, Arteta's a bottle of the tactics. That would all been the buzzwords, and that's all cool. But anyone that genuinely watched that game with their fucking eyes, Arteta coached a win there, bro. Like, simple as that. Football is big business and it's entertainment. Wouldn't be surprised if they had a quota for VAR decisions per season. You know what? I think so. And you know what? Being in the world of football, being a ref's got to be the waviest thing. You can be shit. Anybody, like, you can make a glaringly obvious mistake, and I'm the manager, and I get vexed about that. I get shut up. I get fined. You're gonna still be reffing. At worst, you might be pulled from a week or two of weekend fixtures. You're gonna somehow get, because you could fail with Arsenal Newcastle. Somehow you're gonna get Arsenal Spurs, or I'm exaggerating, it don't make sense, but you're gonna get to manage a referee the El Clasico. It's the best job ever. It's got to be the best job ever. The league is ours, as they say. So, lads, who believes we can win the league? Define believing we can win the league. Define that. What does that mean? I'll ask you lot in the chat. Have we even got you lot horrible men and women. You didn't even tell me I haven't got a poll. Who wins the league? Liverpool, Arsenal, City. I know I'm not letting you. I got an agenda against you lot because you lot were talking mad. You lot, if you lot don't win the league, you lot have bottled it as well. Chelsea, you lot take part in that. Define winning the league. What does that mean? Because I can, in many ways, Sunday that could be winning the league. I've seen us, have several bad games at St James's Park, bottle it, and to see us in familiar circumstances stand firm. In many ways, that's winning the league. Of course, you could talk about winning silverware. We just have to win our games and see where we are. I don't look at the league table. I don't know where we are. I will look in May. Hopefully, we can. We're a club that should be winning titles and whatnot. But what is belief? Because the element of believing is believing where you can't see. Big up the PR. Caught me off guard with that question. Liverpool left Eddie alone in the room. But the bias is mad. Liverpool retain. I'll be vexed if they retain. We need a trophy, man. Arteta, ideally the Premier and the champs. That shuts some people up within the fan base. Forget the outside. That shuts some people up. To save face, or a good season is the Premier and the champs. Saving face is an FA Cup, League Cup. It's still not enough, but it might buy you some time into next year. We'll have to see, man. Fabio Cannavaro. What? What's this? Understand Uzbekistan Federation made official contact with Fabio Cannavaro as new head coach. Why do I feel like we played against? Pick up Fabio Cannavaro. Hey, run Thierry Henry's Ballon d'Or, please. Never, and call your boy Neved as well. Fucking thieves. That's all bad. Why do I feel like we played against Fabio Cannavaro's side before? Was he Dynamo's Zagreb manager? I might be making this up, but I trust myself. Even when I think my mind's playing games on me, I'm sure you've managed a team at the Emirates in the last 2 years. I'll say 3 to be safe. When did you leave? How have you ended up here? Don't forget 750 people. Chelsea, Benfica, by the way. But yeah, I'm sure we played against you. Armpits. That's what I want. Let's stop the cap. I'll stop the cap. I believe Liverpool are the favourites. But it does feel sometimes like the stars are aligning. And I do think we have this element of defeating ourselves, whether that's the manager doing things positively, like against Newcastle, or obviously at other times not. I still think Liverpool are the favourites. I don't think that's the thing. I think Liverpool are the best team in the league, but I don't think it's not like when City were just bullying up the league and just running away with it. I still think we can compete, but it's just we need to bloody be perfect. Like sometimes you lot call me harsh. It's not that I want to be harsh. It's just there's nothing more harsh than the last 3 years for us Arsenal fans. Like the league demands that. We had 14 draws and whatever way we shape it, we're still second. If only there was half of those, or times where we've lost. And if there's one thing that annoys me more than anything, it's sometimes our inability to claw points back from winning positions, from losing positions, which we've done in the last 2 weeks, give or take, with the 4 points we've got against Newcastle City, and sometimes the opposite of that. So I believe the squad can do it. I think it comes down to the gaffer. So yeah, man. Liverpool lack of defensive cover is going to cost them. I think they need to. Kirkes is having a bit of a stinker. I think he'll get over the line, but right now it's a tough start to life for him. Pool phase, but we definitely can still win it. That's why I can't vote based on that. They're not invincible. They bleed like us. They could get worse. They could get better. Same goes for us. But I'm not even. It's for me. I'm not even looking at Liverpool. Clearly, I've given them their flowers. It's more. I need to know if we're in certain environments that we were in last year, we're going to get over that. Cool. Newcastle, step in the right direction. Didn't feel. I mentioned Liverpool at Anfield last year, and obviously the game that just went, City as well. Third time lucky in the Newcastle game for Arteta. But these are the things I'm talking about. But at the very minimum, just go on a run, man. It's as simple as that. And forget Liverpool for a sec. Just learning from last year. You drop points Fulham away. Before that, you drop points at the game before that, you drop points at West Ham. What more motivation do you need than against West Ham? They were just street smart, competent. That was seen by many Arsenal fans or football fans as last chance saloon. Last couple of years against Fulham hasn't been plain sailing where we've won, lost, or drawn against them home and away. You know what you need to do. Liverpool are favourites, but they weren't last season and they won. Favourites don't always win. I don't believe Liverpool are the faves. It's us. We have the fewest weaknesses in our squad. Yeah, but Liverpool have actually got over the line twice. We haven't. DG believes it and DL does. I know who legit believes Arsenal winning it now, but half of the poll are capping. Only way Cup's buying this guy time is if we win both the FA and League Cup. Just one isn't enough and should be celebrated. Man, in 17th and 15th won those trophies. I hear you, but if we were to win, and again, I'm not saying I'd be happy, but if we just sim the year to May and we only win an FA and League Cup, FA or a League Cup, I'm celebrating that. I think that I want my parade. I want all of that. I want to be there in Islington with all of you lot. I think it is buying him time. I hear what you're saying, and fans want the guy gone anyways, but I genuinely think if Arteta doesn't win a trophy, he's staying. So a League Cup or whatever is going to buy some time. And what I mean by save face, at least you can say you got over the line in something. However, Liverpool, God forbid, Liverpool win the title and we don't. We do the context thing and then we start all over again. Luis Enrique, shout me, man. Would you prefer Arsenal just win the Prem or win multiple other cups, say the Champs and FA Cup? What? So the Champions League and the FA Cup or just the Premier League? Right, put my Champions League in the bag. We ain't won that. Put my Champions League in the bag. And that's our cup. the FA Cup. We need to move away from Man United. That's slightly why I'm a bit more peed off at Arteta since we've won it, because I think we could have given more of a go at it. So yeah, Champions League, we ain't won that. We got to be the biggest team, give or take. Us, Atletico Madrid, that ain't won it. And we've participated for years. Us, Atletico, Juventus, we're all stressed out. Like, we're all stressed out when it comes to it. And big up Dynamo Kiev, I'll throw them in because they're participants. And for me, I'm vexed. I'm vexed for many reasons when it comes to the champs. I've seen some, and I don't think we'll get this voodoo, but I've seen, like, every team is getting fairy tales. You know, the way Man United won it in 1999, the way, actually, if I'm sure, if I remember correctly, I was in secondary school. If John Terry doesn't slip, you know, they lose that final. They won it. The first year Chelsea won the Champions League, let alone the fact that they have it twice. Manchester City, Little Man Club, Danny Mills FC, up until whenever they started getting money, they've gone and won it. But give or take, PSG have finally done what they set out to do. Where's my thing? I've been to one final, same amount as them lot down the road, and we got cheated. Barcelona, I'll never forgive you for that. I'll never. And you think I got sympathy for anything with refs? You think I'll never ever not lead this charge against refs? Put my Champions League in the bag. I can die a happy man. Put my Champions League in the bag. Please put my Champions League in the bag. Islington Town Hall in May. I'm manifesting it. See you all there for the party of the decade. Again, it'll be like Carnival. The train lines will get ruined. Bro, if Arsenal ever win a major, we're moving mad. Yeah, Juventus have won it. But in terms of, I spoke about stress. Spurs, you're not involved. You're not involved. Remember yourself, Riley. Did you win? Do you want me to call pest control? Riley, did you win? Remember last week when you was talking about 3 points? Or the week before? You want me to call pest control? You want me to, in fact, better call Arteta? You can shout shit on the Magpies. Come outside, man. London have to shut down if Arsenal win. Yeah, like, I don't know, man. It seems like there's an outbreak of animals in England. Like, the wolves are doing stuff to people, eagles and seagulls and bees, and crazy things are happening, man. Which team has more room for improvement, Arsenal or Liverpool? I personally think this hype of Liverpool not clicking is rubbish. Both teams. Clearly, Liverpool need to stop making. You'd have to talk to them or Slot. Clearly, they're making games harder than it needs to be. I think I just by the highlights, I'd be very pissed off if I was Alisson, because Alisson kept them in the game. I think there's a couple of unnecessary individual mistakes in Liverpool's games at times, summed up with Kirkes. There is a bit of an element of them needing to gel. That's probably, quote unquote, one advantage that we might have on them. Yes, it sounds crazy because we brought in 8 players, but you're more seeing radical changes from Slot. Like, Trent's not there. You've got Frimmy. Hugo's gelling off his own back and he's doing quite well. Isak's coming to it. Verts is there. All those kind of things. But I'd say it's about even. Because I still think there's stuff that Arteta needs to do in the final third. So, like, what we saw positively against Newcastle needs to become the minimum. Players at our club are still developing relationships, whether it's Mascara and whoever he plays with. It's, to be fair, Timber and Saka is still something, a developing partnership. Rice and Zubamendi, whoever the hell's in the 10, whether that's Eze, Odegaard, the Merino, how that ties in, the left-hand side, everything. So, I think it's quite even, if I'm honest. We're already in an injury crisis that would have broken us in previous seasons. Yeah, I hear that, but come on, man. And I must admit, yeah, I'm at that point. A part of me will only believe Arsenal can win the Premier League genuinely, not even when it's mathematically confirmed and we're, by God's grace, and we're watching it on Sky Sports and, you know, Clive Tilsley or Peter Drury, they're saying no poetic commentary. I still don't think I'll believe it. It wouldn't have sunk in then. I think the only time, because I've been these 3 years, excluding this year, so 4 including this year, the previous 3 years, like, it's been long, innit? Like, I'll only believe it when we're in Islington Town Hall and I'm seeing the team lift it. I genuinely think that's the only time I'll genuinely believe that, you know. Genuinely. Believe, DG. Everyone's got to believe, or we won't see armpits, please, gents. Brother, I hear you, but I'm not with, like, boy, you've been infected, because that's what some Arsenal fans do. Just shout, believe, 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 believe. I'm not saying you're wrong to do that, but all right, to hear me, I believe, I believe. What do I do? I'm sitting here entertaining you lot on YouTube, bro. It's nothing to do with me. It's these players and Mikel Arteta, and we know what we do good. Take the good and make it great. We know the areas that we need to improve at that. We know the shortcomings. Let's go. Control every controllable, exhaust every controllable, and we'll go. And never at one point did I go, oh, I believe, like, I have to keep saying this belief thing with the Invincibles, or I don't support City or Chelsea or any team that's won stuff. They don't have to do that. Or Real Madrid. Yeah, you got to believe, but I'm a fan. If I'm at the ground, of course, like, give the guys some confidence. And I'm never going to sit here and lie to you. Like, if I'm not confident going into a game, I'm going to say it. I don't know about you lot. You lot stay over there. I was on the right side. I said we're beating Newcastle. So if I have reasons to be optimistic, great. But it's us against the world, siege mentality. And again, I'm gonna probably waffle about this Newcastle game for a while because you refuse to accept what reality threw at you. That is what I want to see. Performances like that, you do that 3, 4, 5 times a season, provided there's no Spanish in the works. They're the games you look back in May like that's how you do this thing. I'm only believing because I predicted 12 points after this start. We're on 13 points. Arteta cooked something right. I'm strapped in for this ride. Boy, you're moving like hooks with the flip-floppy thing. You're very critical of the gaffer. Sorry, people, open my window. You're onto the gaffer and now you're ready. Stay over that side. We've got Super Mick, etc. Arteta just win something, man, because I fuck with you, but I'm at the point now, bro, you need to win. I don't think you walk on water in that, but you're a good coach, bro. Man, need to win now because you've made it a reality somewhat. Like we're closer to getting over the line, and I'm on doing so much to get over the line. Luis Enrique, shout me, man. 15 million a year, London. There's Jones here. We'll get Mbappe as well. Oh, yeah, Mbappe, call us as well, because Saliba's not going over there. KJ's in the chat. You're right, man. Kanate, Upamecano, all them man are better. Have them. For me, it's make me believing. I'll back you, but make me a believer. There you have it. I have to give Arteta some credit. He's ahead of the predictions. Something is happening. Every game will require Arteta to be brave, whether it's making tactical adjustments or subs. He has to be brave in every aspect. And it's to and from. The gaffer might fuck up. The players might have to save him. The gaffer's tactics might be spot on. The players might fuck up. There's going to be that. 5 winnable games, especially at home. That's another thing, man, because at the Emirates is where the Spaniards start getting thrown in. That's kind of where we move a bit mad at times unnecessarily, if I'm honest with you. To be honest, we have a massive chance. The depth is giving me confidence this year. I believe we can fight for the league, but I don't want to believe no more. I want to win the damn league. Arsenal will win the league. Many cities like New York, Toronto, Miami, Chicago will be out celebrating. Arsenal fans in North America are massive. Big up their Gunners worldwide, man. They'll hear the party up north if we win. London will shut down if Arsenal lose the title yet again. Look at this bad man. We rebuke that. We rebuke that. We rebuke that. We rebuke that. Birmingham fans from Liverpool. Crazy works. Crazy works. Why not support your local? Why are you not an Aston Villa fan? Why don't you support Wolves? Why don't you support West Brom? You're a glory hunter. And don't tell me, my dad was Jamaican. My dad moved from Jamaica, John Barnes. I don't want to hear that. I've heard that same chestnut bear. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. We're not in the 80s, mate. We're in the 2000s, all right? You never walk alone. Unless Eddie's in the room. I'm not going to get to buzz on Liverpool too many times. But yeah, on a serious note, though, man, big up you lot. You lot have been in top form as you always are. Let's see what's going on with our football club. William Saliba signs new Arsenal contract. KJ, as Kanate said that. The Trent. Darkness. My centre back. Anyways, William Saliba signed a new long-term contract with us. The 24-year-old defender joined in July 2019 and has since made 140 appearances in all comps, becoming a cornerstone of our defensive unit. I always say this, yeah. He did join in 2019, but he went on a couple loans. His Arsenal career only started that first year we fought for the title. So yeah, we know he began his career at Saint Etienne. We know he's been doing his thing. We know he's played in a Coupe de France final. 24 years of age, doing his thing. We know he returned and won the English Super Cup against Liverpool in August 2020. We know he went on loan at Nice. We know he plays for France. I'm sure he's happy that he'll probably be going to the World Cup. I say probably because you just never know. You know, you got better defenders like Upamecano and Kanate, and did it Chelsea fans even tried to run Wesley Fofana. Leave that goal right. Anywho, Burris said, we're so happy, we are, that William has committed his future to us to be part of what we're building here. In the last 3 seasons, William has become an incredible defender whose composure, intelligence, and physical presence make him one of the best in the world. He'll continue his development with Arsenal to reach new heights. His consistency, maturity, and ability to influence matches will continue to be a big asset for us. And we're looking forward to many more great performances from him at the heart of our defense. Our manager, Arteta, said William is loved by all the staff and players, and that speaks volumes about his character, commitment, and attitude every day. Since joining us, William has grown so much, embraced responsibility, and has created a strong connection with our supporters and everyone at the club. Low-key, he might be the biggest passion merchant at the football club. Like the way he celebrates, he goes mad. Never let it stop, man. And that's on a serious note. 5 years committing his future to what, 29? The haters will say you're not winning trophies. We know you are. I'm not going to be naive. He is going to join Real Madrid one day. But if I don't see 80, 90, 100 million, especially because we got better now, not Edu, I don't know. I know I don't want to dish you, Edu, yeah, but well, we're in September and our two centre backs have signed new deals. The two star boys have signed new deals. Saka's en route. We had a great summer. This ain't reality if Edu's here. This is running into next year. In fact, Edu's probably just tying up Gyökeres deal now, and we're talking about if we could just get over the line with Marino and Havertz and Trossard and maybe Martinelli as false nines, that might happen. And Eze's probably playing for them lot. So I don't know what that'd mean for Xavi Simons. But yeah, man, we know there's still so much more to come from him, and we'll continue to work together to keep improving with clear ambition of winning major trophies. I'll tell you, clear ambition of winning major trophies. And I'll hold you to that. It's the best place to be on signing the new deal, says William Saliba. What specifically have you said? I feel proud of myself because I signed it first in 2019 and now in 2025. I'm still here to extend my contract. I'm happy. I feel at home. We have a good team. We have a good squad. We have good staff. The coach is perfect for me. So it's the best place to be. I enjoy every single day when I have the chance to wear this shirt. I try to give everything, and now I'll give even more to the club and the fans. And then he went on to say, when you sign, you dream of playing many games, but it comes so quickly. Before I signed, I didn't realize that I would play a lot of games like this, so it's good, and I want to play more. When I signed, I went back to St. Etienne, and I came back and became a starter, so a lot of things have happened, but I'm so proud of my journey. I never gave up, even in tough moments, which makes it all sweeter. Of course, I wanted to play straight away, but I didn't expect that it'd be as good as it was. I played well. We almost won the league in the first year, and we almost won the league the season after as well. Yeah, I'm happy now, but I'm not 100% happy because we have to do more. We have to win titles because it's what we want, what the club wants. And, you know, he said he wants to be recognized as the best defender in the world. And he's previously spoken about, yeah, to do that, you need silverware. People, 25 more likes, and we have 100. Stop weighing it. There's too much pussy duns getting somewhere on YouTube. We're definitely somewhere, but it's time for us rational thinkers to take over. Smash the like button, people. So, yeah, what else has he said? The coach is one of the best coaches in the world. He has helped me a lot, him and his staff. So I'm happy to have them as a coach. I'm 24 now, and I think I haven't reached my peak. I have a lot of things to improve, a lot of things to give to this team. And I know that the coach and the staff will help me to become the best or one of the best defenders in the world and win trophies. Then he said on the chant, I enjoyed it since the first time I heard it. I feel proud whenever I hear these songs. So thanks to the fans. I have a special connection with them because even when I was on loan, when I was not playing here, they would send me messages to say, one day you will play for this club. You don't have to give up. I'll never forget this. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the support. We know that they are waiting for. We know what they're waiting for, and we'll give our best even more than the previous season to give them what they want. You got a friend in me. What's that from? Toy Story. I mean, I wasn't going to read this, but the amazing club record stats Saliba holds. I'm not going to read this to you, but most clean sheets by PL outers since 2022-23 is up there. Bare stats, wavy stuff, just wavy stuff. Moving away from that, you have to credit Andrea Berta. Transfer window: Kepa, Hincapié Mosquera, Norgard Madueke, Eze Gyökeres, Nwaneri, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba have all signed new deals. And now we're waiting on Saka. I reckon Timber's in line for one as well. Hand of Arsenal, big him up. Played a blinder this summer and continues to do the Lord's work for us. When Real Madrid approached again in the summer, Saliba was direct with his desire, and that is to remain at Arsenal. Andrea Berta just re-signed a generational centre-back to a 5-year deal in the prime of his career. Speak on it. And let's go France and buy some more, man. Let's stockpile them. Saka is next. Andrea is on it close. Is there any other updates from Hand of Arsenal? Come on, man. Tell me Rodrigo and Luis Enrique are rolling. All right, let's be easy. And I think that's Saliba being welcomed after signing his new deal. Big up Tom Canton. He did tweet out that yesterday that Saliba put pen to paper. So it's probably just being made official. And obviously David Ornstein initially broke it. Saka is signing. I'm not even worried. Look at this guy. Shots fired at Deluded Kwanzaa. Look at this guy. Man said Kwanzaa. Arsenal are now the 5th most valuable club in the world with an estimated value of 4 billion. The Gunners recorded a huge 1.2 billion year-on-year growth, making them the second most valuable Premier League club. And we got that director now, so we're gonna probably see us a bit more in different landscapes, people. Romano on Bukayo Saka's contract at Arsenal. Mikel spoke to Saka. He's keen on staying and being a big part of the Gunners' project for the future. This is going to be the next priority after William Saliba, having already reached agreements with Miles Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri in the summer. Ethan Nwaneri. Arsenal sources are optimistic about getting this deal done, and they see Saka as a crucial part of their plans. He is untouchable and soon will have a new contract. It's different. Saliba is one of Arsenal's highest paid players at Arsenal after signing a huge 5-year deal, as he should. So I wonder, in theory, what the future might hold for a Kai Havertz, for a Martin Odegaard. Maybe, you know, obviously Jesus, we know the writings on the wall. Maybe a couple of players that are nowhere near that pay packet, but resources and whatnot. He's understood to be on 250 grand a week. You'd imagine Saka becomes the highest paid, and Kai's on 250k. So if we skip a bit ahead, and Eze's doing great stuff, you have Marino, who's cheaper. Not to discredit Kai, the club might say, "Oh, might have to go," because it takes me back to the summer where Sammy Mokbel said Kai Havertz has admirers from Germany, and he did say the feeling with inside Arsenal and sources close to the club, there might be a main player who leaves. Now, main player could be used subjectively. You could say Trossard's a main player. You could say Jesus. You could say Martinelli. You could exaggerate and say Saliba and Saka. Obviously, we know that's not quite the case. So yeah, it should be. Should be. This is unclear. Saka on this already. Well, if he's on this already, there should be more daylight. Kai, I'm not gonna lie, shouldn't be there. Rice is expected. Saliba should be there. Odegaard, they might have a look. Jesus, your days are numbered. Yoker is obviously just signed. Martinelli, don't buck out your ideas. That might be someone. Eze makes sense. Magalhaes, you could have negotiated a bit higher there. Ben White is calm. Timber, you're definitely getting an upgrade. Kala, cool. Hincapie, cool. Marino, you might be one in years to come, even though you're doing your thing, and I think you're quite disrespected. They might say, can we save peas there? Zubamendi, they zanged you. Trossard, we renewed his contract, but not the length of it. Raya, cool. Norgard makes sense. Kepa makes sense. Mascara, you'll double that if you do your thing. Madueke, you slide zanged yourself as well. You should not be on 50k. I can't lie to you. You should be on a lot more. You should be, your agent's not done his job. Nwaneri, big boy bucks now. Lewis-Skelly, big boy bucks. And to be fair, at 15, earning legally, because you know the things you'd have to do at 15 to get 350 quid a week. That's a bag. That's a bag and some change a month at 15. And you know, the minute he turns 16, 17, and they can, well, you're getting the big boy piece. And Max Diamond comes from a very well-off family, anyways, blood. So money ain't nothing for him and his dad, man. So yeah. Payday for Saka set to become one of the highest earners, as we know. We really committed William Saliba to 2030. Amazing stuff. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Gunner Blog does seem to like a bit of controversy, but he said everything I've heard towards the end of last season suggested that Arsenal felt that Nwaneri hit a bit of a wall in his wide development and performances. They felt defenders were wise to what he was trying to do, and he'd be better served by being central. I agree with that, but that's what you want to hear, because the stuff you can get away with in the occasional cup game or in the, in the academy, teams are gonna suss you. They're gonna suss what you're gonna do. So you have to add variety. I expect to hear that. Unpopular opinion, I like to see young players struggling, because you should be struggling. I don't want to see you. I know how good Nwaneri, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and Dalman are. Let me see them when you're playing against defenders that are faster, stronger, faster up here. That's the only way you get to the next level. Our next six fixtures: Olympiacos at home, West Ham at home. Then we're on the road with Fulham away. Then we've got 3 home games in Real Madrid. Sorry, not Real Madrid. We could bring them if they want. Atletico actually smacked them as well. Atletico Madrid, Crystal Palace, and Brighton. So at the Emirates, quite a lot now, man. Allegedly, Spurs, Newcastle, and Arsenal all holding interest in Real Madrid's Arda Güler. The 20-year-old midfielder is struggling for starts for Real lately. I mean, that's one rumor that's always going to get filtered. And did you not see this? Mikel Arteta plans to invite a team of Royal Air Force fighter pilots to Arsenal to improve the way he communicates with his players, and has talked internally at the club about becoming more efficient in his use of words. This guy is a madman, and people can laugh. I know it's fun to say, oh, I don't care about this stuff. I just want to win trophies. I do as well. I don't necessarily care about this, but anybody that understands sports psychology, all of things of that kind of ilk, you need to, or even if you're just in an office, you're an office manager and things, these things help. Go and read Sir Alex Ferguson's book. I'll say that, or Pep Guardiola's book where he's talking about chess. It sounds great, by all means, there's many a thing to hit Mikel Arteta up about. This isn't one of them. And the fact that this is even looked at innovative by Mikel Arteta is doing every other manager disservice. You think Slot, Eddie Howe, Pep, Xabi Alonso, you think all these managers worldwide are not, maybe not, okay, Royal Air Force fighter pilots are a bit mad, but you think they're not running certain things like this. But don't let that get in the way of a few clicks. The British fighter planes, I will get in touch with those guys, how they communicate, because that is life or death. I hear it. Fucking hell, it's crazy, isn't it? I'm sure they don't use 20 phrases or 20 words. If there's one word, don't say, no, the wind is coming this way. Now you have to turn left because, boom, dead. So it'll be one word. Arteta was speaking like this. He's been in London too long. Or maybe he's hanging around with Hector Bellerin. So what is it? How specific can we be? How clear can we be? Bring them in and say, I want to analyze our process, 3 days, how we communicate, how we do that in training, how we do that, and I want to get better at this. And even Luis Enrique the other day was speaking about rugby. I'm sure he watched his team play from the press box and he had the Bluetooth headset in. So it sounds cool, but it is what it is in that regards, man. Is there anything else here? Even though this ain't the official thing, it looks lit though, isn't it? Like Saliba committed his future, guys. Why? We never had no contract controversy that we're used to. I'm sure actually Saliba and Saka had one. Don't forget as well, we are going to be watching Benfica Chelsea. I'm going to go watch the under-19s in a bit, to be fair. And tomorrow, people, even if you're not going to be there, smash the like button on that. I haven't even hit the like button. We will be watching Olympiacos as well. How many CEOs called Arteta after the Newcastle game? DG, the Gyökeres hate is unbelievable. Verts is 007. Gyökeres got robbed of a penny. Most hated and rated. Let them hate. But they better pray he doesn't. They better pray he doesn't score. Arteta is funny, bro. Pickpockets, fighter pilots, win the dog. But I understand it. I like that kind of stuff. But I'm at that point. We need to just win, bro. Anything to help us win. I'm on that. And to be fair with you, like, think about it logically. Like, obviously, the players must be excited about that. Like, you're coming into work and you're learning new things. Even down to, was it Arsene Wenger, when he used to make defenders? I mean, Wenger wasn't praised for his whole tennis balls. It spruces things up, bro. It makes you think about life and all these things differently. Noni's on 50k, fake numbers. Noni isn't on 50k. He's on 150. Mascara on 70. Not really. That's like 70k baby in football. And plus, you're not a dickhead. Like, you are a Spanish under-21s international. You was wanted by other clubs. You was a mainstay with Valencia. You also had an upgrade, but 70k, probably a 4 or 5 year deal. Mascara, if you keep developing, you're gonna get put on some paper. If you got capped by your country, probably be on more. Man said I look like Chuck Zaniki. This guy's racist. I was watching the morning news. Boyzone said they'll do a show at the Emirates next year. Concerts about. Come on, man. You need to get 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige, Vibes Cartel. Get the wavy dons in there so I can be there, man. Let me be there. Let me be there. Let me be there, man. DG, who runs PGMOL? Who reviews and is in charge of their actions? Can Webb be fired at some point? I guess he could be fired, but honestly, it's above my pay grade, man. Man said he's a passion merchant, but he's our passion merchant. Come on, Willow. Loyalty bonus go. Just say Saliba, I won't judge. I don't blame you. Get your money, man. Get your money. Saliba even signed. We're winning. The stars are aligning. I hope so. We have Edwards hype. Bert is the new kid on the block, boy. What? Because he signed Mo Salah. I'm not giving him flowers for that. Chelsea had him. Everyone was rating his thing. Watch. We're on to you lot now. It's different. Arsenal fans, stay humble. But when there's the time to not be humble, boy, you know what they say? When you're at the top, stay humble. When you're down, stay hopeful. And there will be a time. There will be a time. Man said Edwards. Like, fam. Bert is his old man. He walked in, he gassing him and whatnot. See what Berta's doing. Berta coming and delivering. See what he's doing. Hey, don't worry, man. We're here now. One day the Emirates is going to feel like home, and that's only going to be achieved for me when we win something major. Madueke is on 150k, never 50k. That's disrespect. Apparently around 7.8 per year, as you should. I know it sounds good, but honestly, Madueke and his agent be an idiot if he left Chelsea to sign for Arsenal for less P's. It don't make no sense. We have Don Bert. I'm not worried. Bert moving like Tony Montana. The world is yours. I hear it. Elite player, passion merchant. You need passion in everything in life. 96 likes, people. Let's get this up. Same way we want Arsenal up the table. Big up, Rory. Rory, why? You're always here. Well, you're clearly not always here, but you're always here. Why are you not a mod? Let me go on YouTube. The YouTube tab. SJ should be a mod as well. There you go, fellow. See SJ. Hey, Rory, comment again. One day StreamYard will allow you to just make people mods from that page. You lot don't see it, but no, I'm actually in there. Yeah, Rory, if you're out there, comment again. So, yeah. But this is where there's no excuses now. We've got a competent sporting director. The man are signing new deals. We're happy about the squad. We're closer to achieving what we want to achieve than going the other way. Just get the job done, man. Just get the job done, man. Just get the job done. There he is. Rory's commented. There you go. Great power, great responsibility, and all of that. People, mods don't necessarily ban people because they're trolls. He's a mod now, man. I'm better than Berta. I'm just always making signings, man. Big up M in the comments. This iron on iron sharpens the swords. I want to smash West Ham as well, you know. Respectfully, West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle. Nothing against your clubs or your match going fans, but your social media fans. I don't know why you lot are involved in this slagging off Arsenal. Even I'm not going to say his name, but there's a dickhead that makes Arsenal content around like our tactic stuff. He's a Newcastle fan. He done the mocking Miles Lewis Skelly last year. What are you getting involved for? Fuck you getting involved for? I don't mind it, but just let us know. Most hated and rated. We don't do. That's the one thing about the corner boys and Arsenal. We don't link up and do all of this with other clubs. We're by ourselves, mate. Like, fuck you lot if you hate my team. Simple as that. On that note, though, man. It's been enjoyable, folks, but I'm going to love and leave you lot. I do want to watch the Under-19s Youth League, so the youth version of the Champions League. I'm always watching. I do want to catch up with 1-2 highlights from the Under-21s, Under-20s World Cup, sorry. And I need to actually try and finish this edited piece for you lot, people. So there's always work. The good news is I will be here 7:50, 10 minutes before kickoff. If you're here, or if you're about, or if you can smash the like button, I appreciate it. We're going to be watching Chelsea, Benfica. Tomorrow's Arsenal, Olympiacos. Obviously, Saturday is Arsenal, West Ham. I think Sunday's a bit of a dead game. If you lot want it, we'll watch Brentford City together. But it's a bit, I don't know. I don't know. And then after that, it's international break. We've got to sit on our hands for a bit. And then before we know it, it's Fulham away. And then before we know it, it's November's international break. And then so on and so forth. But most importantly, before we get out of here, people, I hope this year and September's been great for you and your loved ones. And I also hope October and the rest of the year is great for you and your loved ones in what you lot want personal, in your personal and private lives and professional lives and all them kind of lives. Also, we can't do anything without health. So wishing you lot good health, man. Thank you for fucking with the guy. And on that note, smash the like button, people. Safe. See you later. Seen Ahmad do this? Has anyone seen Verts do this? Has anyone seen any of this?